Hey guys, welcome to Hannah Mouse Cooks, where today I'll be showing you how to make high protein lava cakes. These make for a great breakfast, snack or dessert and can easily fit into your health and fitness goals while still being a delicious sweet treat. In this video I'll start off by going over a framework for how you can make basically any flavour of lava cake, and then I'll be showing you a recipe for a basic vanilla and chocolate one. And be sure to stay tuned on this channel because over the next week I'll be sharing several different flavour combinations so I can show you how to get a bit more experimental and adventurous with different types of flavours. So let's start off with the framework for the protein lava cake. For the ingredients, these can be largely split into three different categories: the batter, the filling and toppings. For the batter you're going to need 30 grams that is usually made up of 15 grams of plain flour and 15 grams of protein powder. However, this can also include things like powdered peanut butter, protein pancake mix, cocoa powder and ground almonds. You're then going to need 12 grams of pudding mix. I like to use the no added sugar Angel Delight pudding mixes, but I know this sort of thing varies a lot in terms of what's available in different places, so use whatever you have. But obviously I haven't tried every brand, so I don't know if the quantity will be the same. Be sure to try things out and experiment if you're using a different brand than me to see what works. You'll then need 3 grams of granulated sweetener. I use erythritol, but be sure to use whatever you have access to, whatever agrees with you. And these different sweeteners will have different strengths of sweetness, so again, play around with the amounts until you find something which works flavour-wise with your cake. And then you'll need half a teaspoon of baking powder. In terms of the wet ingredients, you're going to need about 35 grams of some sort of fruit puree. This can be, for instance, half a mashed banana, or else you could microwave some berries or cherries or something like that to turn them into a fruit compote. But otherwise, I like to use fruit pouches that you can find often in the baby food aisle of supermarkets. These work great. I often use the brand Ella's. And then you'll need 25 grams of liquid egg whites, or else the egg white from one egg. And you'll also need a tablespoon of golden syrup. Based on the flavour of your lava cake, you may also want to add in some different extracts. And you can also add in mix-ins such as chocolate chips, chopped nuts or berries. The filling will typically be made up of about 20 to 30 grams of a high protein yogurt, about 2 to 3 grams of protein powder and about a teaspoon of almond milk. However, this can also be subbed out with protein puddings or a few squares of chocolate, or else it could also be your favourite spreads, so Nutella, Biscoff or peanut butter. And you can also add in some food colouring or flavour extracts to fit the theme of your cake. The toppings are optional and will vary based on the flavour profile of your cake and can include things like some pieces of fruit, some chocolate chips or other chocolate treats like Smarties or M&Ms, some chopped nuts, or your favourite sauces, syrups and spreads. And based on the type of topping, this will determine whether or not you're adding this before, after or during the baking process. You'll also need some low-calorie cooking spray. The basic process for all these cakes is to mix all the batter ingredients, to mix the filling ingredients, and then you'll add 3/4 of the filling to a lined and greased ramekin. I find that you get the best results if you both line and grease the ramekin. And then you'll add the filling into the middle of that, cover with the rest of the batter, and after adding any toppings you will bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius, that's 356 Fahrenheit, for about 18 minutes. And that is literally the process of making a cake. So with that framework in mind, let's jump in and apply it to our first recipe, which is the vanilla lava cake. Starting with the vanilla lava cake, for the batter you will need 15 grams of flour, 15 grams of vanilla protein powder, 12 grams of pudding mix, 3 grams of granulated sweetener, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 35 grams of pear puree, 25 grams of liquid egg whites, 1 tablespoon of golden syrup, and low-calorie cooking spray. For the filling you will need 30 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt, 3 grams of vanilla protein powder, half a teaspoon of almond milk, and half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix all of the dry batter ingredients, so the flour, protein powder, pudding mix, granulated sweetener and baking powder. And then add the wet ingredients, so the pear puree, egg whites and syrup. Next, mix all of the filling ingredients, so the yogurt, protein powder, almond milk and vanilla extract. Grease a lined ramekin and add 3/4 of the batter to it. Add the filling to the centre of the batter and cover with the rest of the batter. Bake this for 18 minutes, and just like that, we're finished with our vanilla lava cake. Now on to our chocolate lava cake. For the batter, you will need 10 grams of flour, 10 grams of vanilla protein powder, 10 grams of cocoa powder, 12 grams of pudding mix, 3 grams of granulated sweetener, half a teaspoon of baking powder, 25 grams of liquid egg whites, 35 grams of pear puree, 1 tablespoon of golden syrup, and low-calorie cooking spray. For the filling, you will need 10 grams of fat-free Greek yogurt and a 5-gram square of milk chocolate. Preheat the oven to 180 degrees Celsius or 356 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix all of the dry batter ingredients, so the flour, protein powder, cocoa powder, pudding mix, granulated sweetener and baking powder, and then add the wet ingredients, so the pear puree, egg whites and syrup. Grease a lined ramekin and add 3/4 of the batter ingredients to it. Add the yogurt to the centre and the square of chocolate on top, and cover with the rest of the batter. Bake this for 18 minutes, and with that we're finished with our chocolate lava cake. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it gave you some ideas for lava cakes that you can make. Like I said earlier, I will be sharing more flavours across the week, so stay tuned for that. But if you do come up with your own flavours, be sure to tag me over on Instagram in a photo of it. My handle is @HannahMouseCooks. I'm looking forward to seeing them. And apart from that, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. It shows me that this is something you want to see more of. And I will see you next time with another video. Bye!